Gang, welcome back to Between the Sharks. It's Saturday again, the birds are singing, little brown dog coffee. We have got to get moving. I have big plans of hot rodding this weekend, but life being what it is, I've been working a ton lately, like regular work, like for the man, not for fun, not doing hot rods. So the weeks have been pushing 50, 60 hours, and our regular daily driver, the C10, girlfriend's Jimmy, and car you guys haven't met yet, my 1990 Isuzu Trooper that I haven't driven in 6 months, all need maintenance. And I really want to get back to these hot rods, but a guy's got to do what a guy's got to do. So I'm going to take you along for the ride while we try to scream through an overambitious list of getting these dailies back on the road so we can get back into the fun stuff. Because, you know, sometimes that's just how it is, right? All right, welcome to Between the Sharks. Let's get after it. So this is my 1990 Isuzu Trooper. I was actually on the lot when my father bought it brand new. That's why it's still with us today. Was a daily driver for years. Transmission went out, sat for years. Put a transmission in, lasted 3 months, sat for years. Then decided to get really after it, and I decided to stuff a 4.3 in here with the 700 R4 transmission. I know a few people really dig these Troopers, me too, but here's what's going to disappoint you. I deleted the four-wheel drive to make this thing fit. That said, we have got a severe power steering leak that we have got to get after. So I did this engine swap something like 2 years ago. I bought a wrecked 91 S10, pulled the motor and transmission out, pulled the original 2.8 and 4 L30E out of this thing, and slid this guy in. It is now a two-wheel drive, not a four-wheel drive, but for 99% of the driving I do in the Southeast, not an issue at all. So as I said, this car has sentimental value to me. I did the engine swap roughly 2 years ago, and then I drove it consistently for about 4 months. Got a power steering leak, kind of parked it, got back into the power steering leak about 6 months later, and it has returned. This car has basically been sitting up for a year, maybe? I've moved it around the yard, but I haven't actually taken it off the property. And it is now blocking the garage. So it's finally time we solve this power steering leak, because that's really the only thing keeping it off the road, and that's a little ridiculous. Here's the plan. I'm not 100% sure where the leak is, but I know that it's a really bad leak. The thing is, once everything gets really gummed up, it's kind of hard to tell. And on a car like this, you know, originally four-wheel drive, kind of like mini off-roader type of thing, there's a lot of skid plates. So getting your peepers up under there to actually look at it is not so easy. So what we've done is we ordered this wizard juice. I ordered it off of eBay. I got some on my finger. It's interesting. It glows under black light, a weird orange color. I know they sell these kits, these leak chaser kits. Never used one, but we're going to try today. The goal is to find the leak, and if we need some parts or something like that, then hopefully we can pick them up today, because I already have to run to the parts store to pick up the parts I ordered for the S15 Jimmy and for the truck. So while we're waiting for those to come in, let's see if we can sort this out. So just pop the whoop-de-doo off the power steering thing. It is bone. Gonna go get some power steering fluid. We'll mix in a healthy batch of this stuff and see if it leaks without even running, because that's possible. It could be one of the O-rings or something, or even a line at the back of the power steering pump, which, if it is, it'll be a freaking nightmare to get to. But if it is, we still need to know. So, oh, huh, wow. That is hard to see out here. This is gonna be difficult. We're gonna try it anyway. The plan is to take the big power steering juice, put it in the container that's smaller, add enough wizard juice to make it fluoresce enough, shake it all up, pour it in here. I have no problem with having extra of this fancy O'Reilly power steering fluid with the magic juice in it, because literally everything I have leaks power steering fluid. This just won't hold it at all, basically. Maybe it'll leak out before we even start the motor. I'm afraid that if we start the motor, it's going to sling it everywhere, and we're going to have no idea where it came from. So let's try it this way first, and then we'll see. Then maybe we'll use the rest of this juice on the other two cars just to get an idea. But I have found with power steering, it's better to leave well enough alone. You know, a little leak, that's great. Give this a little bit of a shake. I don't know, maybe a little goes a long way, maybe a little doesn't go a long way. You know, sure, fine. I can't tell if it's doing anything. Normally power steering fluid is clear. This has a brown tint to it. Yeah, I can't. Nope. Nothing. Dang it. I mean, kind of. I don't know. Let's add more. Sure, that's a lot. I don't know if my black light is not powerful enough, or if this stuff just doesn't glow the way I wanted it to. Don't really know. That's not doing anything. I gotta find a dark spot here. Give me a minute. There's no instructions here. I just thought it would glow like a crime scene. Guess we'll go for it anyway. Give this a little dose first. And that glows by itself. Let's go charge this for a few minutes, let this sit, see if it starts to sort of empty itself naturally. All right, hopefully a little bit of brake clean will 86 what I spilled. All right, let's just give it a second, see what happens. All right, gang, it is leaking something fierce. That's just from a few minutes. I haven't even run the car yet. I pulled out another power steering pump so we can look, and I'll tell you what I suspect. From under the car, it's dripping off this part right here, which makes me think it's where the pump seats into the reservoir. But this feels like a much bigger project. Whoa, almost dropped it. This feels like a much bigger project than I am gonna take on today, because I've got a bunch of other things to do. However, you know, it may be a good candidate for like some bars leak type power steering fluid, because it's leaking just as it sits. I'll know if it works kind of before we're even really driving it, because it's just pouring right out of there right now. So in theory, I could put the stuff in, leave the juice in, let it do its thing, and you know, hopefully it won't screw up the power steering box, but we'll be, you know, in the world of maybe replacing a pump sometime in the future. I did check, there isn't even one available. Plus, you got to press the pulley on, and like, no, it's over my head today. Good and bad. We're learning stuff, but I'm gonna take one more quick look in there and make sure, see if I can tell if it's actually leaking from here. At the end of the day, if I'm gonna get into it, I think I'm probably gonna buy the new pump anyway, so I'm just doing a swap and not just kind of like disassembling the car and hoping it's just an O-ring or something like that. May lose a little cash that way, but just can't have more broken stuff laying around. Not that this thing hasn't been broken and laying around for 6 months, year, longer, I don't know. Just want to bring you guys back in to show you my new observations, right? So I'm looking at the pump from this perspective under the car, and there's only fluid gathering right here. I wiped this area off so it's not leaking from this fitting on the back, and there's no juice up here, which makes me think it is not running down this way. What that means is this seal is giving it up. So we'll try the bars leak. If not, we'll find a replacement power steering pump, and you know, we gotta run to the parts store anyway, so I'll give it the old $5 try. Then maybe I can peel off a few minutes at work this week and see if I can order one that fits. Yeah. All right, gang, we're gonna take the old truck to the auto parts store. We'll see if I can get it to do the thing that it's been doing lately that's causing us some trouble.
It's curious.
So the issue that I've had is just intermittently while driving, the voltmeter will jump to 16, 18 volts. The drag on the alternator is just causing the belt to squeal like crazy, and it's a one-wire GM alternator that I put on in January. So I guess the internal regulator might be going. I checked for a loose connection. Everything seemed fine. It's under warranty. Guess we'll swap it out. If I'm wrong, then it'll do it again, and we'll find out that it's a wiring issue more than it's an internal issue to the alternator. And then it'll be like, my bad. Got a belt for the Jimmy, got an alternator for the truck we're in, and got some snake oil for the Trooper. So it's worth a shot. That other stuff will leak out before the afternoon's over. We'll put this stuff in and see if it stops leaking. Let's get back there and get this stuff done. Get back to hot rodding. Well, while we made the trip to the auto parts store, this guy has continued to drain itself, so we'll just let that keep going and see if we can get the alternator on this, and then we'll grab the Jimmy, bring it back, and do the belt. That's the plan, right? All right, well, that's hot. Great. Huh. There. Eyes on the prize. I'm already getting distracted. So I put this alternator on in January. It's like April 2nd? No. We'll pull the ground first because, with a one-wire alternator that's hot lead, and you can make all kinds of sparks and fire, and we'll just actually undo the battery this time. So I did myself a favor by pulling this car back here, because I usually just get in a hurry, start working on these things in the driveway, which means I get 282 back and forth trips to the garage for tools. And then my tools, which is kind of common, are scattered between all of these cars and all of their projects, and never in one central location. I think it's kind of like a Murphy's Law thing. Like, if I do it out there, I have a chance of getting it done, even though it'll be a huge pain in the butt. But if I move it to the garage, I'm afraid it'll be dead forever. Exempla gratia. All right, as a fella can see, it's not like actually one wire, but it's pretty close. So, you know what? I didn't even pull the new one of these guys out of the box yet. Let's just make sure it's right before we disassemble. All right, gang. Looks near the same. Connections look the same, whatever. We're gonna have to get deep into it to find out that, it's the wrong one. But, let's just do it. All right, that's still pretty warm, so we'll see how many times I burn myself on it. Grabbed a couple wrenches. Like I said, the battery's disconnected. Hopefully one of these is, correct. This is not stock. I think this is off a 79 Chevy, which is an internally regulated alternator, kind of known as a one-wire. Oh, that's interesting. It's not 7/16. It's not 3/8. 15, 30 seconds? Nope. At least we're at the garage. It's a much shorter walk. Be right back. Try the old metric flavored ones. Not an 11. It's a 10 millimeter. Why? I mean, there's several things that could have happened to cause this. If the internal regulator is not working as well as it ought to, that could be because either it just crapped out, but we also could have a loose connection that's making it think we need to charge more. It could also be that a loose connection fried the diode. So we're gonna get in there and see. Having trouble actually getting in there though. Ouch. Remember that time I said I was gonna burn myself? That'd be no. I don't know if it's because I just haven't embraced maintenance as a thing I should want to do. Like, I need to like bring out my inner Hank Hill or something. I really want to be building hot rods or whatever. Basically, I think building is more fun than repairing. I think that's the short version. That's what you get for being in a hurry. I make this mistake literally all the time, meaning trying to do 3 maintenance projects and then get to hot rodding within a day, not just a weekend. A day, fellas. It's too much. But I feel like if I didn't let myself falsely believe I could do it, then I would never start, because... Alright. Pull the charging light guy off. Little fella. There you go. Alright. There's our thingy. Terminal 2. Is that right? I don't know. 2. Back to our post. I believe that's accurate. Let's go ahead and swap that onto our new alternator. The guy could remember where he put it. Let's go ahead and make this mistake. Away. These bubbas have put this bracketry together. It makes it hard to fill up the power steering. So we'll top it off, and guess what? It's leaking too, but nothing like that guy. So let's put a little bit of our snake oil in and see what happens. All right, Bars leak, high mileage power steering repair, America's #1 most trusted brand. It says guaranteed to seal and stop leaks, plus all this other stuff. So all right, that's topped off. Spoiler alert, this is going to be our solution for the Trooper here in a few minutes. Go ahead and stick this guy on here. It's our charge light connector guy. All right. Probably should have broken out the old impact for this, but of course that is in the frame rack. What are the odds, fellas? Nope, it's under the motor mount. Holy guacamole. Whew. Recovery complete. All right, gang. Whoa. Let's put the battery connection back on. That's the ground. Yes, it does have a red thingy on it, but it is a black wire. You can follow that lead. Sometimes a guy just has one color battery cable when the battery cable breaks and needs fixing. Good. Good. All right, let's fire it up, see what happens. Seems to be working. Come with me. So, well, it's charging at 13 and change instead of 14. Which is what I think it really ought to be doing. So we are 20 minutes into this whole process and our new alternator is on. So we'll take it for a test drive when we take our old one back for a warranty return. Maybe that thing was never actually in great great shape to begin with. So, all right, on to the next one, right? All right, gang. This is my better half's S15 GMC Jimmy, 1986, four-wheel drive with a 2.8. It's a fun little car. We did the Vice Grip Garage Shine Juice treatment on it, which actually looked great, and it needs it desperately again. It's been almost a year, and it's now covered in pollen, and the car is gross. But what it needs more than anything right now is an alternator belt, which we discovered when the oil sending unit started like just pouring oil right out. Here we go. All right. Let's take a, come on in here. That, fellas, is not a good thing when you got a belt. And really, if you're doing auto repair, this view is also not great. That's 3 cars in the backyard with their hoods up. But we are making progress. New alternator. We're gonna try some snake oil, and I think I've got the right belt. I hope I got the right belt. Let's see if I got the right belt. All right, so I grabbed all the tools off the C10 because this is actually a pretty similar process in the sense that to remove this belt, we've just got to loosen the alternator because that is the tensioning point for this particular motor. Now, unfortunately, we've entered the era of metric GM stuff by the mid-80s, but we pulled a bunch of metric tools out, so hopefully we have all the things that we need. Nope, not that one. Hey, 1/2 inch fits. Great, perfect, we'll take it. Let's get involved in this thing. That is toast, or roached for my Canadian friends. Moment of truth, though. Is our new belt correct? And you're basically looking for length, width, and all that other stuff. And fellas, I think I'm Vanna White in this for you. We are in business. All right, let's reverse this process. In around the fan. Yeah. Looks like it's lined up. I don't want to jinx anything, fellas, but it's actually going kind of okay. Let's move all this stuff, fire it up, and see if it throws itself right off, because, you know, it just seemed too easy. All right, gang, it's 1 in the afternoon. Started 10:30, 11, got the parts ordered. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We've got a new alternator in the truck. We got a new belt on the S10, and the Trooper, we sort of discovered the problem. So it's a little bigger than we want to fix. You know, really dive in with the power steering pump. Maybe we'll do that in a later video if you guys are interested in that car, especially with the motor swap in it. But I'm going to try the snake oil, and I'll report back. I'm going to let that slowly drain itself. We're going to take that new, bad alternator back for a warranty exchange, and maybe we'll pick up some tacos or something for the fine people at O'Reilly's. They were very short-staffed today, but they still got me all the parts I needed in under 2 hours on a Saturday. So, you know, it's around 1 o'clock. Even if I do all that stuff, I'll get back here in time to maybe tinker on some hot rods. So, thanks for watching Between the Sharks. How about it? I'll take it. It's all right. All right, gang, we are halfway back to O'Reilly's. We got some tacos for the dudes over there, and we got an alternator that will return on warranty, and then maybe we can get back to hot rodding today. We'll see you next time on Between the Sharks. Good luck on your projects. Good luck on your maintenance too. All right, we'll see you then.